you're seeing here?
Yeah, looking at the draft here, Mute Club definitely looking more for a kind of pick composition here. They have tons of CC and pick, and they have a lot of AoE CC in general. Like you have a Volley Bear, you have an Ash, you have the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, you got the Flash Frost from Nivea, you have the Umbral Blade from Aatrox, you got the Death Sentence from Thresh. There's just so much pick potential here that's going to be very, very hard for the Trist to kind of jump in and out, setting off the bomb and trying to get the reset on a team that's so like tanky and has a lot of survivability and CC to kind of peel you off. Nefarious Esports, they're also opting in for kind of like a team fight composition here with the Lux. Like there's a lot of frontline for Nefarious Esports. So if they don't get a Serpent's Fang on the side of Mute Club, which doesn't look like anybody can really build it, being it's a assassin lethality item, Nefarious Esports will definitely have a slightly bit harder time kind of not engaging the team fight, but kind of finishing it off since the only real damage dealer is the Trist and the Lux here.
So one thing I do wonder is what build this Ashe is going to go for. Of course, we've seen most people go traditional, like a Kraken Slayer into Runaan's, which is probably a lot better since Runaan's just got buffed in 11.1. But we've also seen the Imperial Mandate Ashe build mostly popular in support, but I have seen people run it bot lane with that Mirror Mana, then going into like a Ravenous Hydra third. So we'll see if they try to go for that build, a more supportive build, but it does a deceptive amount of damage, and you can get your ult cooldown to a very low number, especially if the game gives you a couple Cloud Drakes. You can get like a 30-second ult cooldown, and Ashe with the 30-second ult cooldown is quite good, as it turns out.
Yeah, like Mute Squad
Sorry.
or Mute Club definitely has like a lot of damage here to proc the aforementioned Imperial Mandate. So it would be really, really good in this comp, but you definitely need something to kind of cut these tanks down to size. But as long as, the top lane and the mid lane are kind of going even, they should be able to scale hard enough to cut down Or and Leona fast enough that the Ashe doesn't really need to go just full on carry mode here.
Yeah, of course, Anivia, one of the most famous 60-minute carry champions. Ton of wave clear, ton of damage at 6 items, and she will definitely be able to do a lot of damage to this front line, especially with that rank 3 ulti at level 16. But they do need to get there, and this team from Nefarious Esports has a lot of engage with that Ornn, with that Leona, even with the Vi. They can start fights whenever they want to, really, and that's something that Mute Club is going to have to handle. They do have a good amount of peel, with the Ashe Thresh, with the Anivia, but they are going to have to be careful in these fights that they don't get engaged on before they're ready.
Yeah, like Trist, being one of those feast or famine champions, if she does not get ahead, she'll definitely fall off a little bit because Trist really isn't meant for kind of like a tank going against tanky compositions. She's really meant for kind of jumping in, blowing somebody up, jumping right on out. But we're gonna have to see where Cloud Slayer and Kyle Gibbs both kind of meet up in this jungle pathing and see where they kind of allocate their resources to try to get their various carries ahead in each lane.
You guys are
Yeah,
more
and
than welcome to call for a break. Just kind of,
Now, as we
so
wait for this,
sorry.
excuse me, carry on.
I was going to
just
say, before we go, do you want to give us your prediction for this game? Which draft do you think is winning? Oh my gosh, my webcam is going off on the stream. That's probably a problem. Anyways, what are your predictions of this game? Who do you think has a better draft here?
Ooh, I definitely have to. It's gonna be a bit close, I'd say, but I definitely give the advantage to Mute Club. They just have a slightly easier composition to kind of set up, and they have a lot of lanes that are pretty easy to snowball here. So I could definitely give the game one here to Mute Club.
Yeah, I definitely think they have the better draft overall. Of course, this Tristana, if she gets ahead, could do a lot, but I think that is going to do it for us. We're going to go to a short break, and we'll be bringing you the game in just a minute.
boom, and you're off.
Sorry, my brain like turned off when you started talking to me. Not gonna lie.
It's all right. It's all right. It takes a little bit of getting used to and like to talk over someone who's talking to you, but also like to also keep talking. It's like it's really hard.
Mm.
Yeah, my bad, Derp. I gotta just listen to cues more. I gotta turn you up a little bit.
I haven't casted in a hot minute, if you will.
Same.
know.
I think like my last cast was like a week or two ago.
So when we get into game, I'm sure you guys both know, we'll pause at 5 seconds. You can always hit, I think it's Control Shift Z to be able to zoom out further. We'll just follow directed camera.
Wait,
It's
Control
the easiest way to
Shift
do it.
Z.
Control Shift Z, yeah, will let you
Z?
zoom out.
He's a
Z.
Canadian.
I'm
It's
Canadian. Yeah. It'll allow you to scroll out much further
Oh, shit. Saints are fighting.
than normal. So you can kind of see much better. If you didn't know that already.
Control Shift V. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the way like it allows you to zoom out is pretty much as far as you want.
So like you hold it, or like you just hold
No,
that
you just hit
and then
it
you.
and it unlocks the zoom. It's only available in spectator client. And it just, yeah, it's like on stream, I'll zoom out quite far during bigger team fights to be able to show off more of what's happening. Cause like the normal zoom out can be pretty condensed if you're trying to watch something happening.
Oh, so it's just Control Shift V and then the mouse wheel is just for regular zoom. Okay.
Z, yeah. Control Shift Z unlocks the zoom in the spectator client, and then you just, however you normally would scroll out, scroll wheel by default
That's V, right?
is that. I don't know what your normal scroll out is.
No,
I
like
just used my scroll wheel.
Z is V, right? Victor.
No, as in zebra.
Oh, zebra. Okay.
Control Shift Zebra will allow you to scroll out.
Oh, okay. I got you, dog.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, the Saints about to get a full stop. 4th and 4. Bears 4th and 4. Ooh.
Wait, is this not a replay of it? It's actually
No, it's an
like,
actual live game right now.
Yeah, it's a live game.
Yeah, they
and
got
but
the
it's
wild card
being-
rights. Oh, dude, 4th
Oh
and
my
4. Let's see how they
gosh.
do it. Oh my God, you cannot start yet. Don't start yet. I have to watch this. Cam Jordan, come on, sack his ass. Sack his ass to the grave. They're gonna sack him. He's running. Oh, he's gonna get the first down. He's not gonna get the first down. Let's go.
Oh, I'm excited now.
I'm sorry,
He
I'm a
gets me
Saints
hyped
fan.
about a game I don't. All right.
Man, you can imagine
Pause
what
at
my
5.
play-by-play is. Oh, you can imagine what my play-by-play would be.
Yeah.
Oh, Cam Jordan almost ended his fucking life. I'm at 5.
All right. Tell me when you guys are both positive 5. Yep. You ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Let me just make sure OBS never likes it when the game hasn't been preloaded. There we go. Beautiful. All right, boys and girls. 3, 2, 1. Unpause and you're live.
Welcome back, everybody, to the FSC Bragging Rights Championship here.
FCL.
FCL, my bad. Little forgetful. But as we get back into the game here between Mute Club and
Mute Club.
man, what was it again? I forgot.
Nefarious something. Nefarious
Nefarious
NXT is
Esports.
technically what it is.
Has been changed.
Nefarious Esports, we'll call it that.
Oof.
Looks like we got a 5v5 in the bot lane already.
Yep,
Look at this.
looking for a bit of a cheese here, but the Flash Frost will stop them from going any further with their advance. And it looks like both teams will just resort back to a basic 5-point here. So for now, we have Begone Thoth for the side of Mute Club in the top lane. Kyle Gibbs, Volley Bear Jungle. Jay Grags
J Grags, I guess.
with Anivia mid. Payload with Ash ADC. And Tian Quan on the Thresh support. And for the side of Nefarious Esports, we have KKM Kings with the Ornn top. Cloud Slayer in the Vi jungle. I Spy Something Dead with the Lux mid. I Curiosity with the Z. on the
With a
Tristana
Z.
ADC, and I clear Gecko on the Leona support.
Yeah, and I gotta ask you, what are your thoughts on this Dark Harvest Lux mid lane? She is definitely picking an aggressive rune here. Wants to maybe kill this Anivia more than a couple times in lane. We'll see if she's able to do that.
Yep, definitely if you get the procs off enough, you will definitely be doing a lot of work. Definitely looking more towards that damage build instead of the supportive build that most Lux go with. Um, the Dark Harvest definitely scales a lot better than anything else that you might get, but you do have to proc it a good amount of times, but it should be fine. But it looks like all the lanes will kind of go back to a slow state. Volibear will start red, then blue to go to Gromp, and Vi will do full bot clear. So Volibear will have slight prio on the top scuttle first here, and bot lane will get the level 2 first, pushing him out.
Yeah, the Ash Thresh, very aggressive lane, and of course,
Ooh, bot
very
lane.
good pairing.
Wow,
Leona
that was a
does
really
tick
good
2. Oh my.
play there, but Tristana is gonna rocket jump in, pop the bomb onto the Ash. Leona gonna flash forward, get the shield of Daybreak down onto the Ash, but Leona will get flayed, will get slowed up, and Thresh will get the first blood here in this 2v2 lane here. And top side here, the Inferno
Orange all
Chains will
right.
come down onto the Ornn. Ornn's just gonna walk on out here with the Searing Charge. And that will be
And
first blood here for the Ash, or the Thresh.
yeah, you see why the Thresh was picked into Leona. The Leona engage was just shut down completely as we get a bit of a scuffle in the jungle, but I think Volibear is fine here.
Top side here.
But yeah, the Thresh completely shut down the Leona engage, and then they tried to go for it anyways and just went too far, and Leona ended up losing her life. Luckily, it was to
Infernal
the Thresh.
Chains lands land on the Lux. Lux is going to have to
hold
flash on out, but she does get a double Cosmic Binding. Searing Charge does not quite land here. Volibear going to have to flash on out. The Vi flashes forward, getting the punch onto the Aatrox here, but he's going to have to flash out. Double Smite coming down
Vi's
onto
still
the
up.
Scuttle, but the Vi will get bared upon. Ornn's going to flash on forward, going to get the breath down. Searing Charge coming down, going to get the bonk onto the Volibear, and that will be a 1-for-1. Flash Frost landing onto the Aatrox here. Searing Chains also landing, and that might be a 2-for-1 kill here. Cosmic Binding landing onto 2, not going to push on forward, and that will be a 2-for-1 for the side of Mute Club.
Yeah, not only was it a 2-for-1, but look at this wave state in the top lane. Aatrox has a huge wave crashing into the tower, forces the Ornn to use TP to get back in. Actually, isn't going to get denied as much CS as I thought, but that could have been very bad for the Ornn there. But looks like we're back to a stable game.
Looks like
as
bot lane
I
here.
say that, and there's a fight.
Vi is going to get tagged up by the Sky Splitter, just going to get zoned off the bot lane scuttle here. But the Mute Club bot lane will have prio and just poke the Tristana on out. But like this gold lead is ballooned a lot already. Though that early fight, pre 5 minutes, mind you, has gave the Mute Club about an 800 gold lead here. So we're gonna have to see if they can transition that gold lead into anything meaningful later on, as the Mountain Drake will spawn up here.
Yeah, the good news is, as I mentioned, half of that gold lead is just on the Thresh for getting the first blood. So it could have been a lot worse, but small leads pretty much everywhere else is definitely a good sign in the early game for Mute Club. But we'll see if they're able to snowball that into a bigger lead. Looks like Volibear is looking for something bot lane here.
Ooh, looks like Volibear is going to drop the Sky Splitter, going to tag the Leona, but just going to back on out. Thresh going a little bit aggressive, not going to get too much. But now Vi is going to be topside, going to get the top scuttle here, which, mind you, was not taken in that scuffle there. But looks like gold lead will kind of stay around the same side. They're not ballooning it way too much here. But top lane, the Aatrox does have double buff, so it makes this Ornn's life pretty miserable. But surprisingly, gold lead for Aatrox is only 100 here.
And with the Volibear showing bot side, the Vi did get some vision down into the Volibear's top side. I'm surprised she didn't try to take any of the camps, but Cloudslayer wants to be a little bit safer. Just gonna get his vision. Should see Volibear on that ward now. And so that is Ornn's cue to stay safe. And so Vi is just gonna keep on farming. Wants to get up to that Trinity Force. I don't know if Vi actually still goes Trinity Force, but whatever her first item is, wants to get that and then start doing some damage to the enemy laners. This is a level 6 Ornn versus a level 5 Aatrox. The Aatrox is kind of taking it to him.
Yeah, the Darkened Blade, like that, the Q just does so much damage if you land all those sweet spots. So it's just like really hard for this Ornn to kind of fight back, even with the level lead here. But Vi is top side. She's only level 4, about to hit level 5 here off these Krugs. So she might look for a little something top here. But bot lane, Tristana's just going to rocket jump on out. So I definitely expect to see this Volibear to get have his bot lane get prio bot lane. Oof, that's a double negative. But to get prio bot lane and try to get this Drake, being that Vi is hovering top a lot.
A lot of cooldowns just got used their bot lane, but still no re-engages. You know, the Tristana getting set a little bit behind early with the first blood going to the other side is playing a little bit safer than they would have hoped coming into the game. Ash Thresh, of course, also has a lot of crazy all-in. You know, the slows from Ash really makes it easy to land the death sentence from Thresh, as well as Thresh just being a good pick into the Leona because of the Flay, denying the Leona engage. So bot lane going more passive than they would like, but that may change. If any engage happens, somebody's going to die.
Yep, Vi will get spotted here on the pixel control ward here. Now just going to clear it out. Top lane will get pushed in a lot here. So both the Aatrox does have the teleport advantage over the Ornn here. In Ornn, it will get pushed in.
No?
So, looks like the cleanse will come down on the death sentence here. Leona gonna flash on out, trying to bait him in. That's the flash from the Lux ult there. And the Leona will make it out.
Look at
No, she will
Tristana.
not. But the air will land onto Leona. Tristana is gonna go on in with the rocket jump. Gonna get nothing here, but that's a flash bear claw down onto the Tristana. And Ash will pick up a triple kill here and a Mountain Drake for their troubles.
Yeah, Tristana maybe biting off a little more than she could chew there, jumping in and not getting any resets. I mean, she had to flash out, and it wasn't enough to actually get her to safety. So that's a
Top
really
lane
big
here.
play. Hold up.
And it looks like the Ornn will flash away from the Q3 from the Aatrox there. Not going to quite get that little chunk of damage off, but Aatrox will have the prio here in the top lane. And for now, the gold lead will balloon to about a nice, very crispy looking 2.5k gold lead. Or
It's a 3.5k even.
3.5k gold lead for the side of Mute Club here. And definitely not seeing too much coming out of this Tristana Leona bot lane here.
Yeah, it's kind of the worst case scenario for Nefarious Esports here. You know, bot lane and top lane are both getting pushed in. Top lane's at least not losing too hard in CS, considering the matchup, but not having side lane pressure is really rough here. It'll really let Kyle Gibbs do whatever he wants, and he's actually being sort of passive on the map. He could definitely be pushing a lot more than he is now, but that Rift Herald is definitely a prime target. Try to break down either this top or this bot turret. Hopefully he'll go for that with the pressure he's getting top lane. And it looks like he's in the area, so that may be something we see in just a bit.
Yeah, especially with the Ornn Flash being down, I definitely expect to see the Volibear go top, try to get the prio on this Rift Herald here, knowing that bot lane won't have to worry about anything for a really long time here. And it looks like Volibear is just going to start
Fi's going mid.
up. Fi's going mid here. Gonna flash the Cosmic Binding there. Not gonna get the Assault and Battery onto the Anivia. And Vi's just gonna walk away while the Volibear takes the Rift Herald here.
Yeah, the Anivia's been winning this 1v1 against Lux now too, so things are just getting worse for the side of Nefarious Esports. They aren't really winning anywhere, and they do have a very strong late game fight as we get some trading in the top lane, but nothing going to come out of it. But they're going to have to get something done, and it's going to happen sooner rather than later, because this this Mute Club comp is going to continue to get strong with this Anivia getting items, even the Ashe getting items.
Well, looks
They're
like
going to have to...
is getting collapsed upon here. Not going to land the Flash Frost. But yeah, like as we were saying, like the Vi, it's just so hard for the Vi to do anything. Being Volibear is just always mirroring her. Kyle Gibbs definitely knows what he's doing. Just constantly hovering around, knowing where this Vi will be next, and taking advantage of kind of like the bad early game for the side of Nefarious Esports here. And it looks like for now, the game will go back to a slightly slower state here. Gold Lead has kept a steady 3.5k for the side of Mute Club. Oh, but bot lane here, the box does come down. Rocket jump on in. Flay's going to tag up, take the kill for Tristana, and Payload will get the next kill here onto Leona. Leona not going to be long for this world. Thresh trying really hard not to KS that kill. And that will be a 2-zip for the bot lane of the side of Mute Club here.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I don't know if I disconnected or what happened, but
Ooh, thought you
it
died there.
happened.
I don't know what I
I'm
would do
alive.
without my co-caster.
Regrettably.
Are you
Yeah, we do see
reconnecting
this
there?
bot lane
Ooh,
continue to
looks like
win.
top lane here almost get Lance the Infernal Chain is going to whip him back in. But the
Meanwhile, mid
Volibear
lane.
gonna get solo queue pinged here, but mid lane here, they will finally get the kill onto the Anivia using both just the ignite, try to get the kill back. But the Vi will come bot here. The Vi does have the assault and battery. Trist is a little bit low, but so is Ashe. So we're gonna see if they will look for this dive here. Make it pretty
No, Lux
blatantly
maybe
obvious.
overstayed here.
Ooh, Lux. The Stormbringer does come down from the Volibear, but Vi will take the fight with the Volibear here. Sky Splitter going to come on down, not going to hit anybody. Going to get the shield still. Assault Battery coming down. Cosmic Binding also landing. Going to get a lot of CC onto this Volibear here. But he doesn't look like he will live to see the next day, but he's just going to flash on out using Nimbus Cloak, and they're not going to push it here. When it looks like bot lane here, Thresh will get stunned up a little bit. Trist really, really low. And Thresh is just going to have to use the Blast Cone to get on out there.
And you like to see this from Nefarious Esports. They are staying aggressive, even though things maybe aren't going as well as you'd like them to. But, 2 almost kills there onto the Thresh and onto the Volibear. Really sucks that they didn't go their way, but shows that they're still willing to make plays, and that's what you like to see when you're down 4k gold. Not just rolling over and dying, but they're going to go down swinging for sure.
Yep, definitely. We see our dreams are definitely being fulfilled here as the Ashe is going for the Kraken Slayer. Ornn's coming in. Ornhorn is summoned. Going to get tagged up with the slow onto the Nivea. Searing Charge going to come in. TP coming down for Begone Thoth. And they will get the Anivia here before the teleport finishes for Begone Thoth. And they will have the prio on this Cloud Drake here, meaning it will either be an Ocean Soul or an Infernal Soul. Both very, very spicy souls here. Tristana getting really, really low
Meanwhile,
here with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but she's just going to back on out there. Able to get on out without too much complications. And the prio will come back to Nefarious Esports here as they look to get this Mountain Soul or Mountain Drake while the Rift is called bot. So they're going to have to pick between either taking the Drake or losing first tower. And it looks like they'll still lose first tower and not get the Drake here for the side of Mute Club.
yeah, I was gonna kind of praise Nefarious Esports. They got that gank where they got the Anivia flash a little bit ago, and since then they've gotten 2 successful kills onto the Anivia. But unfortunately, having that Rift Herald really just shut down all the pressure they had around Dragon from the good mid lane plays, and it looks like it's actually going to be Mute Club who gets the Dragon, and Nefarious just has no say, and they're even going to lose top tower, it looks like.
Definitely a bit of a oopsie play there for the side of Nefarious Esports. Definitely should have just traded the Drake for the first tower here. So instead, they're going to lose Drake, first tower, and they're going to lose first tower blood, second tower blood, and the Drake here, and get nothing else much in return.
Yeah, not what you like to see if you are a fan of Nefarious Esports. The bright side is they do still have a very strong comp if it gets online. Tristana does have that Kraken Slayer. She is fairly strong just on that one item, honestly. And they've kind of stemmed the bleeding in the bot lane as well. They took a couple nasty deaths early on, but it hasn't been too bad after that. So they're just farming up. They are, of course, down in CS, but it's definitely not doomed yet.
Not quite yet, but the gold lead will balloon up a little bit. It will be about a 5k gold lead for the side of Mute Club here. Bot lane going to go a little bit aggressive. Just going to stun them up and get on out there with the Tristana. Not going to blow any summoners. But this game
they don't want to go
is...
onto Leona after she procs the Aftershock. So she's just going to get to walk out. What were you saying? Sorry, I cut you off.
This game is just... They're kind of slowly bleeding out, Like, right now, Nefarious Esports isn't really playing the map. They're I like to see them play a little bit more proactively instead of reactively here to Mute Club's offensive. But it looks like it will be a slight ARAM here. Mute Club will get the second Herald of the game at about 18 minutes. But Assault and Battery will come down. The Lux ult does come down, but the Ashe is just going to flash on out. Not going to have too much follow-up here. And it looks like that will be a summoner for an ult. 2 ults, as a matter of fact, for both sides here. And Rift Herald will fall down. Going to look to bring it mid to break this turret down. Ooh, Death Sentence almost lands onto Tristana here. May get pushed out a little bit. Going to try to force this tower down here. Break down all the tier 1s.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't just insta-use the Rift Herald there. To be honest, I think they are strong enough where they could have just brute forced this, but they want to make sure their waves are in a good state first, and there's the Rift Herald goes. We'll see if they're able to get this tower. I would say it's pretty much guaranteed to go down, and you see Nefarious isn't even bothering to defend it. They'll just defend the next one.
Yep,
but
Horn is down here.
With this wave here, they might actually get 2.
Yep, definitely leveraging their lead here. Cosmic Binding almost lands. Smite comes down onto the Rift Herald here. Flash Frost will stun the Ornn here, but they're just going to take what they can get and just back on out. As the gold lead does balloon to about a 6k gold lead now for the side of Mute Club here.
Yeah, things are looking up for the side of Mute Club. Getting everything on the map that they could want. Both dragons, both heralds, 4 towers so far. Doesn't look like they're going to be stopped anytime soon.
Yeah, definitely a hard time for Nefarious Esports. Or looks like he might. Yep, just got his Sunfire A just now. And Leona still does not have her first mythic quite yet here. Will back, looking to most likely get it here on this back. Try to prepare for this Ocean Drake here. Definitely don't want to give Soul Point to the side of Mute Club with this kind of lead, but you definitely can't. It's going to be very, very hard to fight with the lead that they have right now.
Yeah, of course, they do need to close out the game. Baron has spawned. That's going to be the easiest way for them to end the game here, but there's no vision around it from either team at the moment. Neither team is currently focused on it. Both teams trying to focus on this Ocean Dragon. This would put Mute Club on Soul Point. Sorry.
Ooh, looks like Leona almost face checked the Thresh. Thresh is going to
flash
in, get a 2-man flank, get the box down onto 2. Tristan is not going to get quite stunned up here. Zenith Blade going onto the Ashe here. Ashe will get jumped upon, and she will get shut down with the laser. And the Flay will come down. Not going to get too much. Deathling's going to miss. Right now, Nefarious Esports getting a 2 for 0 right now. The Bear is trying to do as much as he can, but he's only a tank. Nefarious Esports going to kite out, but top lane here, Aatrox will die here in the 1v1. Ornn's going to get a solo kill. Stopwatch does come down for the Leona. Gonna Zenith Blade on in, not gonna get too much, but Rocket Jump does go in. Cleanse coming out. Oh, but the Nivea is gonna get a 2. Gonna get a double kill here. TP coming in for the Ornn. Ornn does not have the Ornn Horn, but he will get the Searing Charge in. Not gonna get too much. Not gonna let. Oh, that's a really good Cosmic Binding. Volibear is really low. Gonna try to shut down this Anivia here while she's in Eggy form. Another laser coming down. Not gonna land the Flash Frost. The wall's gonna come down. Gonna get the shields down. Not gonna get the Anivia just quite yet. But they're stalling right now for Mute Club. That's a TP from the Aatrox that just spawned.
Here got the TP.
Searing Charge does go down onto Aatrox. Not gonna get too much here. Volibear is really low. Both sides. Arrow's going to come down onto the Lux here. She's going to get shut down here by the Ashe. And they will get the continue getting this Prio and take the Ocean Drake, getting onto Soul Point with Ocean Soul on the line here for the side of Mute Squad.
Yeah, and it looked like it was pretty much a worst case scenario for the side of Mute Club. You know, the fight went really well for Nefarious. Even the Orange solo killing the Aatrox in the top lane, but the fight just lasted too long. They were able to get back onto the map and actually ended up getting the dragon themselves. So what looked like it could have been a great way for Nefarious to get back into the game is just Mute Club getting further ahead.
Yeah, and the Anivia did so well in her last dying, well, not quite dying, but in her last little dish effort there to trying to get as much as she could. She gets the 2 carries on the side of Mute Club, but, or no, wait, no, Nefarious Esports to kind of stall or to stem the bleeding and get the Prio onto the Drake long enough for the Aatrox to kind of TP in, get the, and have everybody else come in to finish off what they started here. Looks like they will get Prio. Both sides will try to get Prio in this top side here on this Baron, but Nefarious
Aatrox is kind of
Esports.
cut off here.
Yeah, but it is definitely an Aatrox.
Yeah,
They
they
have
could
no
have
grievous wounds yet.
potentially collapsed on him.
Looks like they might look for a collapse on the Ashe here.
This
It
is
is
true.
by herself, but Ornhorn will not get called quite yet. Nivea is bot side with no TP. If they're going to look for a fight, they're going to have to look for it now here, but it looks like they're both just going to kind of fight over this vision here. Ooh, that's a flash Q there for the
Ashe
buy.
gets gone.
Salt and Battery coming down. Ornhorn also getting called, and they're going to get a kill here onto the Ashe. And if they're going to look for something, they're going to have to look for it now. Because while Anivia takes the bot tier 2, they're not going to look for this mid, but they're going to rotate up to the Baron here. No TP on the Anivia. Anivia is not showing any signs of slowing down here. Looks like they might have, looks like Mute Club will trade here, but Anivia is coming down. Volibear is still alive. He does have the Sky Splitter and the Stormbringer. So Orange just going to kind of zone him out. Not taking this Baron as fast as they should for Nefarious Esports. Blastcone is going to get prop. Nivea's still
They're
pushing.
still
Looks
pushing.
like they're just
They're
going to
both
trade.
still pushing.
They're trading. Looks like they're going to have to trade. They have to take this as fast as they can. That's going to be 2 inhib towers for none. Stormbringer is still up for the Volibear here, and he will not get the steal. They're going to kill the Volibear, and they're going to have to back on really, really fast here before they lose double inhib towers. But for now, it looks like it'll be a bot inhib or the bot inhib tower, and that will be it. Aatrox still pushing mid here with a pretty chunky wave, but the Baron minions are coming in to kind of stem what is left of this tower here. Looks like they're going to push for this tower. Ornhorn is not there. Solar Flare is going to come down, tag the Anivia. Only going to be slow here. Cosmic Binding also not going to tag anybody here. And that is definitely a bit of a comeback for the side of Nefarious Esports.
Yeah, and you finally get a moment to breathe. I apologize. I'm having some internet issues for the last couple minutes. Hopefully everything was all right. But yeah, definitely an interesting trade for the side of Nefarious. In a winning position, decided to give up the Baron for what ended up just being 2 towers bot lane. But, you know, they do have an exposed inhibitor that they can potentially push. But with this Baron empowered Nefarious team, they probably won't be able to get it anytime soon. So we will see what their choice is instead. The dragon is coming up in about a minute, a little over a minute. So hopefully they will just get some vision set up and get prepared to take that. But of course, with the Baron threat from Nefarious, there's only so much setting up they can do before Nefarious is knocking on their towers.
Yeah, Baron will despawn. The Baron buff will despawn by the time the Drake comes up here. So they're going to have to try to take advantage of this as much as possible. Push these lanes out from where Anivia isn't. Looks like top tier 1 will fall here. Prio is coming down upon The Drake here definitely don't want to give it, but Death Sentence will land on the Divide, not going to land the Flay, but that's a really important arrow coming down. And Ornn will keep pushing the top lane here with the Prio. He does have TP, he has Ornhorn. Level 15 Ornn splitting topside right now. No Prio. It is completely dark for Nefarious Esports as they have to walk into a Bear and his Reaper. But Ornn
And
will
remember,
take a
this
top tier
Ashe
2 here. Ashe.
This Ashe doesn't have any cooldown on her ult with this build. That is a very long cooldown on that ult. And that's something they will not have when the dragon spawns, but they still do have control. We'll see if Nefarious
Looks like
is
Ornn's going to
able
TP in here. Not
get
going to get
in.
quite interrupted. Aatrox also has the TP. They're going to have to try to burn this Drake as fast as they can. Solar Feather coming down. Only going to get us slow. Death Sentence also not coming down, but Stormbreaker's going to go in. Not going to get the Smite Seal. Vi going to secure it. Going to get the kill onto this Volley Bear. That's a 3-man Ornhorn onto
Watch
onto him.
Aatrox.
Aatrox in the front line here, trying to heal up as much as he can. No grievous wounds quite yet here. He's not doing as much damage as he wants. Gonna get blown up by the Vi here. That's a Cosmic Binding onto one. But Ashe is doing the work. Cracker Slayer, Runeance doing the work. Gonna shred the front line. Death Sentence onto the Tristana. Gonna flash on out. Not gonna get too much. Triple kill for the Ashe here. Flay onto the Lux. Lux will get slowed up. Flash Frost over the wall. And that will be a Quadra kill here for
stun.
Payload. And it might be a push here for the inhib and the mid lane inhib for the side of Mute Club.
Yeah, fortunately, the wave states aren't great for Mute Club, but the Ashe just untouched in that fight gets to pick up 4. And that is a big fight for Mute Club. And they aren't going to be able to end the game off of that, but they will be putting Nefarious in a very bad position. Ashe is going to be able to get out with that lantern. And we will see.
Ooh,
They're actually not going to lose anything
here.
mid either.
And
yeah, Nivea actually has to use the flash. Maybe tried a little bit too hard to get that tower.
And they will still get the
tower. It is going to go down to the minions.
Minions, man.
It did go down to the minions.
So it looks like Game State will go back to being its old slow self, as the gold lead will be about 5K for the side of Mute Club. It's 7-2 in towers right now, 18-10 in kills. Mute Club is at soul point right now. Next Drake will come up in about 3 minutes. So Nefarious Esports definitely stemming the bleeding a little bit more. And it looks like they might look for a collapse on the Aatrox here, but he will just use the Umbral Dash to get on out.
Yeah, this gold lead actually hasn't really changed for a long time. It's been a 5K gold lead for Mute Club for what feels like the entire game. And we'll see if they're able to ever really get it to a bigger lead. But if the lead stays at 5K, it's going to get to a point where it won't really matter all that much. Once this Tristana gets 3 items, looks like she is going to go at least for the Executioners. We'll see if she finishes the Mortal Reminder 3rd. I assume she won't. I would expect her to go for the Infinity Edge, but we do have an engaged mid lane.
Yep, I'm not going to get too much. Orange just going to Searing Charge on the way out. Having the Tristana kind of match this Aatrox. Definitely using the range advantage to, her advantage. And Ornn is level 16. He has upgraded items for pretty much the main carries of his team already. So the scale game is coming out for the side of Nefarious Esports. And it looks like Mute Club will rotate top here, get this top tier 2, try to take everything that they can from Nefarious Esports. All 5 will rotate top here, or it'll be a 4v4 top here.
And look where Tristana is. She's actually answering this bot wave. She has to push it out. It looks like Mute Club is actually going to go towards the Baron here, potentially. Well, they're setting up a trap. We'll see if Nefarious just walks into this trap here.
Yep, definitely bushwhack.
They kind of have to.
Yep, it is completely dark here. Leona's going to go in first. Not going to get quite anything. Very good step to the side there. Not going to land any CC, but Searing Charge will come in onto 2. Looks like, Ornn's cut off. The Blast Cone's going to separate him from the rest of his team. Ornhorn's going to get called down. Sunfire pass is fully procced. Ornhorn only going to land onto 1, but Orn is cut off right now. Solar Flare does not land on any. That is a really good laser here onto 3, but the Stormbringer is going to go in. Going to try to run down the Tristana here. Right now, Payload is on a double kill right now. Enchanted Crystal Air does not land onto anybody. Cosmic Binding onto 2, and that will be all she wrote here, as they have no jungler. It is a 2-for-1 trade here. Top and support for the jungler. Super Wave crashing in the bot lane. Going to get 1 Nexus turret. And it looks like Mute Club will push out this mid lane here. Try to force down this mid lane inhib while it is a 4v3 for now.
And you see why people are talking about Gordrinker top laners and why they are so strong right now. Aatrox just bought so much time with the 3-man Gordrinker, and that's after it got nerfed too. Just was able to stay alive, turn what could have been a real bad fight after that beautiful Lux ultimate from I Spy Something Dead into what ended up being a pretty even trade, and even a positive trade for the side of Mute Club, with the 2-for-1 and the Nexus Tower falling.
Yep.
And they're going to get to the dragon first. This is still Soul Point. Yep. And if they get this Ocean Soul is going to do a lot.
Yep, Soul Drake on the line here. Vi has to, Cloud Slayer has to go, and he has to try for a steal, but it will get burned down way too fast here. Death Sentence coming down onto the Leona here. Leona's just going to get taken down by Payload again, putting the ice in her back, and that will be a speed up from the Shurelya's Revelry. Flash onto the Vi here. That's a really good death sentence. Gonna sentence that Vi to death here. Not quite yet. Assault and Battery going into the Ashe. Ashe gonna have to flash on out. She's still putting down the damage. Nobody can get to the back line here. Orin's gonna get chunked on down. Flay is really, really good again here. Navy will get a double kill in the end, and that will be a clean ace for the side of Mute Club, and game 1 will be in their favor here today.
Yeah, massive performance from the bot lane of Mute Club. Payload doing a lot in these team fights, able to stay untouched and deal the damage that she needed to do. And Tian Quan on the Thresh also getting a lot of key picks, even in lane was doing a lot, and out of lane in these team fights, getting some crucial death sentences onto key targets on Nefarious next. And that's going to be game 1.
Yeah, definitely that pick composition definitely coming into work here, just blowing up one person at a time. And this Ashe just so strong. Thresh doing his job and just peeling with the Mikhails and the Shurelyas. Looking at these stats here, Ashe doing the most damage in the game with 22,217 here. And definitely MVP of this game goes to Payload on this Ashe here. 12, 2, and 7, 240 CS in 33 minutes.
Yep. Apparently, I don't exist anymore on the stream. Unluck.
Well, internet is lag is the enemy of all gamers.
Truly. What can you do?
So who do you give MVP of the game to in this game 1 of the best of 3?
Derp, you should be able to use that link I sent you in a DM.
Well, normally, I don't think we give MVPs for one game in a best of series, but if I have to, I would definitely say the Thresh. I think he did a lot.
850.
I definitely agree with you. Tian Quan definitely pulling his weight to 118 here, having about a 95% KP overall. So definitely pulling his own weight around on the map here. But as we wait for the game 2 lobby to be set up between these two teams, we'll be taking a quick little break as we wait to get into this game 2 of this best of 3 series between Mute Club and Nefarious Esports.
And you're off.
Dope.
Yeah, I used the link you gave me. I should be on it at least.